Hello and welcome to this secret live session. I want to congratulate you on intercepting this link that was circulating on the web and being able to enter and participate in this extremely confidential live session that will soon be banned because it contains such impactful, revolutionary information that it's better not to circulate it too much, so it will be deleted or banned immediately after you have seen it. I know you don't believe me. These are not marketing or sales gimmicks, but for the first time in the world of trading, we are going to take on a real-time challenge together in less than 30 seconds without looking at the screen and knowing nothing about trading or software. I know the promise is so blatant that it seems false, but stay with me. Trust me for the next few minutes and you will see that we are going to start right away. Not only will you see that it's possible, but you will be able to do it instantly. Let's get to the heart of the matter. We're going to get started because the information contained in this live session is so important that no forum or broker would want you to get your hands on this confidential information. Let's see what you'll get. At the end of this webinar, you will gain 100%. Even if you don't have trading or programming skills, you will be able to access the secret of the controversial technology behind this path that has been for years the preserve of a few, and you will be able to do it without needing to access complex software or home architecture or contraptions. All of this will cause something strange. It will make many traders envious. Even the best among them who are gurus, who are cool, but can achieve the same results as you. So it will also happen that you become the most coveted, the most sought after in the market for the performance you can achieve with these tools. And why not? You could even help your friends who are struggling to succeed in challenges, or help them or provide this challenge success service to them. You will end up learning to recognize and evaluate yourself where you can apply this strategy and where you can apply another strategy to achieve the same results. Indeed, our job is to alert you and provide you with the most powerful and highest performing tools in the world for online trading. In fact, if you're here, you probably have these problems. What are your difficulties? What are the worries that keep you awake at night? Or the limitations that you find in the world of online trading? Well, if you're into trading, you'd probably like to have access to accounts from 100,000 euros, but you don't have the time or the means to do it. Well, if you're here and you're watching this video, you're probably already familiar with the world of trading, and so you know that firms are firms that give you accounts. If you're not familiar with this, on the other hand, if this is the first time you're watching one of our live sessions or one of our webinars, I want to align you. I want us to be on the same wavelength, and I want to tell you that firms are firms that allocate the capital of real trading accounts so that you trade with their money and don't risk your capital. Why do they do this? Because they select the best traders to make profits and then share these profits with them. So you invest in your skills, they invest in their capital, and everyone is happy. It's not that simple, because the biggest hurdle for traders is the challenge, which is as stimulating and exciting as it is difficult. Challenges have this fascinating value because they place you in front of a challenge. They put you in front of a race, a limit to overcome. What's a problem? Most traders fail at this challenge, and if that's your case, you've probably encountered these problems, and you're really tired of failing at challenges. You're tired of paying for form tokens and then receiving this email telling you that the rule has been broken and you've wasted your queue money. You're simply tired of staying up all day. at watching the price movements, the news if the Fed talks. If there is the publication of the new professions and economic news, you're really tired, but on the contrary, you'd like to close the game in 30 seconds, win the challenge, receive the email where they give you the real trading account to achieve your freedom goals and your dreams. Finally, you get this account from 100 to 100,000 euros and you start trading. Start making profits of 2, 3, 5% per month and cash out every month. That's your goal. That's our goal. The goal of serenity, freedom, living a serene life with funds to withdraw every month. But the scenario is totally different. In fact, many traders lose hope and forever give up this dream of freedom because most people can't live in uncertainty, with uncertainty. When they're in front of the platform, they have to build, they have to live. There's the uncertainty of the outcome. It's a mental worm that creeps into their mind, and they can't live with this uncertainty. So, what should we do? We must break the rules, we must break the patterns. So, just because we did this live at the opening of the US market and now we're going to take on a live challenge of 200,000 euros together. All right, are you ready? The seconds pass and it gets more exciting. Let's get out of here. Let's go to the VPS where we just connected to a 200,000 euro challenge. Of course, for privacy reasons, we will hide the name and account number. But it's a challenge launched by one of the top forums. Are you ready? All right, enough chit chat. Let's get started. We'll tap into our expert who already has a predefined risk management setting. Let's start with a very low setting to see if everything works properly. Let's enable live trading and turn on auto trading to see what happens. As you can see, the expert started running immediately, trading 5 lots at a time and shamelessly making profits. Look at that. The equity has already started. It's already at 200,000 euros, 201,000 euros, 179,000 euros. We can then increase the setting because we see that it's working. Let's go. Instead of 50, let's go with 300 and see how the expert reacts. We started a few minutes ago. In just a few seconds, we've already made a profit of 2,000 euros. The excitement is palpable. Let's see what's happening here. Out of the 32,000 euros made in a few seconds, let's check the account history. As you can see, when there's a loss, it's $250 or $15. When there's a profit, it's a very high profit of $700, $300, or $1,000 in a matter of seconds, like 411, 366, 936. The expert is really flying. We're at 200,140 euros. How many seconds have passed since we clicked? Now let's imagine that we have a cautious approach because we set the lot size to 30, but you can go up to 50, 100 lots at once. You can go up to 50, 100 lots, especially with larger sizes, especially with larger accounts. The expert keeps flying. We're at 217,000 euros. Remember that the goal of phase 2D is 8 for 100. So 8 for 100 on 200,000 euros would be 16,000 euros. We've reached 222,000 euros, so the challenge has surpassed that. It's been, I think, about 60 seconds and we're at 222,000 euros. I have now disconnected out of trading. Let's look at the trades. With the last trade at $30 and the two previous trades at 17.33 broker time, the profit was $4,300 plus 6, making it $5,000 immediately with two trades. I'd also like to have a look at the statement here. Let's access the statement. Right-click, click on Save as Detailed Report. Here are the trades you just witnessed. But let's scroll down and see the statement. It was $22,000 in gross profit in a matter of seconds with zero drawdown. That's why I was telling you not to talk about these things, to get this technology now, to use it for yourself, but not to discuss it too much. Otherwise, traders, trading gurus, they will never tell you that you have this unfair advantage in performance. Do you need this to succeed in the challenge? You need it to succeed in the challenge, not for trading. So you will continue because then you have to use much more normal strategies, forgive the term, much more traditional strategies to then make your profits. But this scheme, this tool that you need to succeed in the challenge, and that's not all. It's just the first of the very powerful tools that we will present to you in this live session. Let's close our VPS. I know you're still shocked. Let's go back to the slides, and I know you're probably wondering how this is possible. What's hidden behind it? What's the secret of this controversial technology? What's the secret of this indescribable performance? Well, let's see how this technology is going to disrupt the rules of trading. Actually, think for a moment what would happen if you could know price movements in advance. As I showed you a moment ago, with 100 certainty, what would happen if you could radically reduce your trading risk by brushing against the concepts of risk, as if you had an invisible ATM to operate, to work with brokers and performance? You may think it's too good to be true, but as usual, we want to give you a transparent explanation, at best rational, so that you can see everything that lies behind this technology. This technology is so powerful that it almost resembles a time machine. Do you remember a little? When we were children, we were completely enchanted, captivated by the story of the time traveling machine. It made us dream. Well, It's not a dream, it's a completely rational technology, which I will simply explain the logic of using a very simple example. Imagine you are in New York and you immediately become aware of information at that precise location, and then it happens. The event takes place right there in front of you, and you immediately become aware of it. What happens? Before the information, for example, is transmitted to the other side of the world, before the information is transmitted to London, you have a few hundredths of a second or a few seconds, depending on the situation, to position yourself and take advantage of that situation. Imagine, for example, you're watching a sports match, you see a team score a point, and you act on it immediately before the information reaches your bookmaker in London. So, before the media transmits this information, you take the time to play maybe a few milliseconds in advance, and you manage to precisely anticipate this information, therefore winning this kind of bet, which then balances out when the data reaches London. Give me this example, which may not be very achievable in practice, but I just needed to make you understand this type of arbitrage distance. What happens? This type of information lag occurs every day among brokers and therefore every day in trading operations. What happens? In a very simple way, when a price is published in central exchanges, it is fixed before being transmitted to brokers through a software called Bridge Pass. There is no transaction delay, so there is a gap that can vary from nanoseconds to milliseconds up to 2.5 seconds. This significant gap is exploited by high-tech software that intersect when these very rapid gaps form in order to offset the price and know in advance the exact movement of the price. It's a bit like what you see in this figure on this Cartesian axis when there are two different speeds. There is the fast one, which is the information that arrives first, that arrives quickly, and there is the slow one, which is the information that arrives more slowly. The discrepancy between these two speeds creates your time machine. The discrepancy between the two speeds generates your profit opportunity, which is completely automated by complex software that institutions, hedge funds, use to play to win easily. So they play it safe in their operations. So imagine that, as seen in the red line, the faster broker sees a price that is rising. On the other hand, the slower broker has not yet received this information, so you see that the line remains straight in that small time frame until the information arrives, and then the slow broker aligns, thus recovering the alignment of information but generating profit for the fast broker. This software, and therefore high frequency technology, will exploit, operate at very high frequency, at very high intensity, and that's why they are called high frequency trading. What is HFT? It's no secret that the largest investment funds, the biggest investment bank that have such advanced technologies can benefit from this logic that I explained to you before. In fact, imagine that more than 70% of the transactions in the market are generated by these powerful computer programs in the hands of a few large investors. This creates an imbalance with small retail traders who do not have access to these powerful technologies and therefore creates a particularly noticeable imbalance in the market potential. These large investors are so meticulous that they even place their servers next to the official stock exchanges just to minimize latency. Just think that when Euronext decided to move its servers to Ponte San Pietro in the province of Bergamo, All investors, hedge funds, and even foreign specialists moved their HFT servers nearby just to reduce latency. You are probably wondering now how to leverage this type of dynamics to my advantage. As an individual investor or small trader, over the years, many software programs have been designed to try to replicate and make this type of dynamics viable, which we have just discussed together. But the big problem, is that most of these software programs, even retail trading software, are extremely complicated and complex, and it would take a NASA scientist to decipher them. So imagine the complexity of these software programs and their complete inaccessibility to the general public. There was a problem to solve. What was the problem? Total coding, reshaping the entire algorithm, the entire functionality of these software programs into a single expert advisor. This expert advisor is the lacquer, the secret effects that will not play on to latency fields, but will also work exactly on the same broker connected with a click on your MT4 platform. As seen previously, by acting in real time in less than 30 seconds and successfully completing the entire challenge, this is how you can completely plunder all the accessory frames using this expert advisor. It's a simple, immediate, and fast solution that you can use right now. Get the ready to use setup, free training. You can rely on our team of consultants, clearly all Italians, so you can count on them. But now you may be wondering, okay, but is all of this legal? And more importantly, is it ethical? What are we talking about? I think it's time to stop being hypocritical. I think it's time to stop being hypocritical because the authorities know exactly what you're doing and they know exactly what's going on. In fact, it's convenient for the organizers to allow you to pass the challenge with HFT, to the point that many organizers admit it without much disguise, and many don't even refund you the end of the challenge when you pass it. This is precisely because they operate on a collateral business model. They operate on a business model that is like a double interest rate, where they allow most people to pass the challenge, get paid, and they collect all the ranks of the challenge. And then they collect the difference on real accounts, trading and cashing in profits every month on real accounts, and only a very small fraction of traders. Because, as you know, most traders fail to manage their accounts. That's why we want to support you further with a comprehensive training course, just like we had done with other courses like Wing of Challenge, Cover Trading, and our other training packages. So, what happens then? Is this absolutely allowed by companies? We need to differentiate between platforms that allow it and those that don't. To do this, let's divide the world of performance into two major parts. There are the newer performance platforms, and there are the historical performance platforms that have been around for a while, just to fuel the strategy of attracting new clients. Many new companies allow this kind of operation. Current examples include Mr. Solution Blue, the leader in Forex, and others. Generally, the common denominator of these platforms is that they use a block. Not all of them, though. But it's not necessarily the case that all platforms using a block allow this type of strategy, and vice versa. platforms that don't use it don't necessarily disallow this type of strategy. We also want to reassure you here and assure you that we will continue to be close to you to help you understand which platforms allow this type of trading and which ones don't. On the other hand, historical proof shows that funded trading, forex, funds, and fund traders are accessories that have existed for several years and have consolidated their historical relationship with clients. But then, how do you succeed with both? You do it with a strategic approach and vision, as we usually do by separating new performances using the HFT Secret and the older forms. While I could use an equally powerful expert advisor, which is the US Odyssey UI user interface expert advisor, which contains the potential of FT, funded trading, without being an HFT. I will show you as I go along with my presentation the action of this expert advisor within, for example, FT and MO, where it allowed us to pass the FT challenge and make a 21,000 euros profit in a few days. What's great about this expert advisor is that it can be used on any trading platform and can be used in all market conditions. It can also be used on a live account, unlike the HFT Secret, which cannot be used on live accounts because they would discover it. To what extent can the secret be used to succeed in the challenge? Instead, users of Odyssey can use it to pass the challenge and also for live account management. US Odyssey is a completely normal expert advisor, even though it is as powerful as if you were working only on visual sessions. It goes unnoticed on any platform that can't do anything other than pay you and provide you with preset configurations, bustier, and canned solutions without you having to scratch your head, waste your time doing 1,000 tests, or conduct hundreds of back tests, etc. I will show you in even more detail how the US Odyssey works because we have studied it, prepared back tests just so you can delve into the details and explore all the features of this expert advisor. Okay, let's enter the backtesting environment as well. Let's enter the backtesting of this expert advisor. This expert advisor, which acts on UN30 but is not an HFT, is really disorienting. So it sneaks into the center of all things. You can apply it everywhere because it is a fully regulatory expert advisor and it is not based on high-frequency trading transactions. It is a completely normal expert advisor that you can use on your favorite platforms and use it on forex funds, ETFs, and many other platforms on the market. In addition to using it in live trading, we will test it in a testing environment to deeply analyze all the peculiarities and flexibility of this expert advisor. First, we downloaded the official tick data from a tick data provider, namely Tick Story. We downloaded all the official ticks, the certified data regarding the index, which in this case is the Dow Jones, on which we will operate and run this expert advisor. So we don't rely on brokers that we know are not 100% reliable. Instead, we want a model of the highest possible quality, close to 100%. We go to our platform, launch the platform connected to the data provider, where the accurate data is downloaded, install our Odyssey, and go to the expert properties. We have already generated the data for your convenience, so you don't have to waste time or worry about it. We have already done it. We created 3 basic assets that you can download with a single click and start using US Odyssey in no time. So I will open it and it automatically loads all the settings. It is calibrated on an account of 100,000 euros to keep the drawdown below 5%. As you can see, there is a protection against losses that stops it at 4,500 euros. I will click OK, select the date range, in this case, from the beginning of January of this year until today. The last tick is available at the tick level and I click Send, so I also activate the display. I enter and we see that our expert advisor starts making profits on the US 500 index. To speed up the process, we click the skip button and our expert advisor generates the chart. As you can see, it is being created. You have already reached 10,000 euros in profits. You would have already passed the STM challenge without touching a single day of protection. If you want to see the results, you click on Results, Build Trade After Trade. As you see here, you have the details, the configuration. You have the stop loss and take profit. Here on the right is the growing balance column. As you can see, it is an extremely linear, solid, and reliable build-up. It gives you a feeling of reliability when you place it in a conservative framework. It's a truly interesting expert advisor. As you can see here, it used stop losses because each trade is built with a stop loss, and it achieved a profit of 21,000 euros during this reference period with a very low maximum drawdown that never touched the daily protection anyway, so you would have met all the profit parameters. If we want the details, we go and save it as a detailed report. Give it a random number, save it, and we see that this specific model has a model quality of 99.90%, which is the highest achievable, encapsulating all the data and details of the performance. You can go and download it to study it. You can also import it into Excel. You can do all the analysis work you want on this expert advisor. But let's try a different configuration instead. Let's say we load the file aggressive for well-endowed women, which is the most aggressive model for this type of expert advisor. But this time, let's change the model and apply it only for 1 month to make it exactly equal to the period during which I am allowed to pass the challenge. So let's imagine that I start in January 2023, choose to purchase the challenge, start doing it. You have time until January 31st, 2023, so January again of this year. I will enter the aggressive configuration we saw earlier. I will start it and let's see how your expert advisor performs. We go back to the chart, we see the chart splashing Vanguard, and I have already met the challenge, earning 15,000 euros in profit. Let's see when. Let's see when it touched 110,000 euros in profit. It started at the beginning of January after the holiday season with 4 lots at a time, and it entered the challenge. So you would have won Challenge D, but it's Forex fund, for example, that made 8,000 euros in profit after exactly 3 days. Why did it do that? 8,000 euros in profit. So on January 6th, after 3 days of trading, and you would have also met the time challenge, which is 10,000 euros in profit after 3 more days. So on January 9th, making a total of 5 trading days. In 5 days, you also passed the EFT and MOT challenges with 110,000 euros. What happened is that a stop loss was triggered, a daily protection that allows you to stay within the farm's parameters, so you never lose more than 4,500 euros. So if we see that it slipped here in the settings, the daily protection allows us to save this amount here. Money for 5 maximum daily loss is there to save us in cases where the drawdown reaches that level, keeping the drawdown below 5% per day, allowing us to stay within the challenge results. It takes stop losses. I put it in an aggressive mode, but it's still there. With all the stop losses, 15,000 euros in profit in 1 month, which is a 15% return in 1 month while keeping the drawdown below 5%. Well, every slide that goes by gets more exciting. It becomes really exciting because we have seen US Odyssey, we have seen HFT Secrets, which together allow you to crush any challenge. But this live stream is coming to an end. This ultra confidential, ultra secret live stream. So I won't start with the typical sales pitch, but I'll get straight to the point. How much does this package cost? It costs you exactly 1,500 euros if you purchase it now before the end of the live broadcast. Or if you need to talk to a human or a consultant for any other doubts or questions, write to us immediately so you don't miss out on the price. Or if you're a confident individual who can already see yourself with funded accounts ranging from 200,000 euros to 500,000 euros and envision yourself as a successful trader making withdrawals every month, then click on the card. Click on the card that appears in the overlay. I don't want to be picky, but as you can imagine, because this technique is so sophisticated, so borderline, excuse the term, it won't last very long. We don't know how long it will last, but one thing is certain. It is working now. You must act now to seize this unfair advantage. You must act now, erase all the fears from your mind, and instead trigger the speed of action because now is the time to act. The price, if you don't take it now, will rise to 2,500 euros, which is the minimum value of these 2 expert advisors. You can calculate that a single expert advisor of this kind is worth more than 3,000 euros in the market because it allows you to have a key, to have a master key to access the points of your finances. Therefore, the value of this expert advisor is invaluable. I remind you that you have a license with unlimited accounts, so you can't only use it on one account. You can use it on 10, 20, 30, 50 accounts. You can help friends in need and paradoxically complete challenges that are not your own. Some people have used this strategy in the past to save a few thousand euros. Regardless of what you want to do with it, it's like being given a very powerful weapon that you can use to your advantage. I don't need to show you all the professional certificates we have earned or that our students have earned using our training courses and tools. I want to show you thousands of testimonials because I want your success story to be yours, so that you can be the one to send us the next certificate. It's you who will receive the next email from Professor Herms congratulating you for completing the challenge. It's you who will start showing the certificates to our loved ones, to your friends saying, "Look, I did it. I am finally a funded trader," which means I have a funded account and I can finally trade on serious accounts. I can finally withdraw thousands of euros every month from funded accounts. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I thank you for your trust and the time you have spent with us. Click on this shopping cart immediately as you hear these words because I will close the live session and put the link here. Thank you. See you soon.